Well, members and guests, welcome to the 31st Annual Conference on U.S. Turkish relations. Mr. Minister, thank you so much for being here 2 years in a row. It means so much to us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is now our opportunity to have an impact on the bilateral drama. It is at once important, captivating, and sometimes uncertain. That is the drama of U.S.-Turkish relations. Just think, 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, our bilateral relations were brought into serious question by three separate events. First of all, there was the Armenian resolution, followed by the Gaza flotilla and Israeli commando interaction, and lastly, a negative UN Security Council vote on Turkey. A little under 2 years ago, a Republican tidal wave swept into the House of Representatives, nearly 100 new members of Congress, split the two houses of Congress here, and to set a tone of political confrontation in this country that has defied compromise and even has risked government shutdown. And then only a year ago, Prime Minister Erdogan swept to victory for the third time and committed to rewriting Turkey's constitution as his top priority. But at the same time, our president, President Obama, made virtue of necessity by announcing that U.S. combat forces, after more than 8 years, would be out of Iraq by the end of 2011. Now, for 4 years, both our leaders in both capitals have wrestled with questions of economic recovery. And it bears noting that Turkey has been significantly more successful in that endeavor than we have thus far. When we met here at the end of October last year, the Arab Spring had just reached a nasty conclusion in Libya, and Syria was poised to either reform or slip into an increasingly bloody and violent civil war. Well, all of us here today know the choice that Bashar al-Assad made, and we can see across Syria, in Lebanon, and in the refugee camps along Turkey's borders, its consequences. Although those circumstances give none of us satisfaction, I think in candor we should acknowledge that one of the results of those issues has been increased cooperation and communication and coordination between the United States and Turkey. Both our capitals were transfixed, if not directly affected, by the withering challenges of a Eurozone no longer able to be self-sustaining. That, too, has driven increased bilateral communication and growing respect for the emerging economies, obviously including Turkey's. Now, I personally hope that next year we'll meet, or a year from now we'll meet in the context of progress on this new Constitution, positive reforms in a badly outdated and undermanned judiciary, and enlargement of the individual rights of all Turks. And for our part, I can assure you, whether you have a second Obama administration or the first Romney administration, U.S.-Turkey relations will continue to be richly valued and most kindly treated. Now, my point is not to critique those changes in Turkey and the United States to which I've just referred, but simply to note that change is constantly upon us, sometimes positive, sometimes negative, but always challenging for us to keep pace. Later this morning, a distinguished panel will discuss our political landscape. I'm confident that the panel will treat the details of these and other changes with the understanding, with the balance, and the critical judgment they deserve. Tomorrow, consistent with our conference theme of new areas of cooperation, we will have a panel look at the marketplace for northern Iraq's hydrocarbons, a topic and with a panel that we could not have imagined even 18 months ago. We're also going to examine the opportunities for new and creative cooperation in space, in education, and in Arab Spring infrastructure. And we'll have the opportunity to hear from the best and the brightest in government and in business. I look forward very much to the distinguished Minister of National Defense, Minister Yilmaz's conversation with us, and I'm sure it'll be as titillating as it was last year. Of course, we've got Leon Panetta, John McCain, Ambassador Ron Kirk, Deputy Secretary of Energy Dan Poneman of the U.S. side, and on the business area, on the Turkish side, I'm very interested and very anxious to hear from Husnu Bey on behalf of Turkish business, and from Bill Swanson, an American corporate leader who I'm sure will inspire us to even greater entrepreneurial efforts. So once again, thank you, welcome, and it's my distinct pleasure now to introduce our conference co-chairman and chairman of the Turkish-American Business Council, Haluk Dincer. This is Haluk's fourth conference as TAIK chairman. He's well known to most of you in that context. He's holder of a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and a master's degree in business administration from the University of Michigan. Haluk joined Sabancı Group in 1995. 10 years ago, he became the food group president, and 8 years ago, the president and chairman of Sabancı Holdings Food and Retail Group. Now, it has been my individual pleasure for 3 years now in this conference to stand alongside of Haluk as we sought our common purpose, the promotion of bilateral business and investment. I have always been impressed by Haluk's leadership, his instinct for business, but most especially his warm friendship. So may I invite my friend Haluk Dincer to the podium.
Thank you very much, Rich, for your kind introduction. I, too, would like to extend all of you a very warm welcome to the 31st Annual Conference on U.S. Turkish Relations. It gives me great pleasure to be here among old friends dedicated to the cause of bolstering U.S. Turkish relations. But before I begin my remarks, please allow me to pay my respects to our dear friend Nuri Otay, our ex-board member who passed away last February, and under his watch, Ford Otosan grew stronger than ever, and I remember how proud he was of those vehicles produced in Turkey, those Ford Transit vehicles produced in Turkey and that are being sold in the American market. He's remembered not only for his dedication to the Turkish-American relations, but also his kindness. Once again, I would like to extend my condolences to Ford Otosan CFO, Oğuz Toprakoğlu, who is with us today. I can't see him now, but my condolences to the whole Ford Otosan family. Ladies and gentlemen, the Turkish economy has shown a remarkable performance over the last decade. A sound macroeconomic strategy in combination with prudent fiscal policies and major structural reforms turned Turkey into one of the principal emerging economies. These reforms, hastened by Turkey's EU accession process, paved the way for comprehensive changes in a number of areas. As the country's fundamentals improved, the economy grew at an average annual GDP growth rate of 5.2% in the past 9 years. And while Turkey's GDP levels tripled in dollar terms over this period to $772 billion, GDP per capita soared over $10,000. And while many economies have been unable to recover from the recent global financial recession, the Turkish economy expanded by 9.2%, as we all know, in 2010, and 8.5% in 2011, thus standing out as the fastest growing economy by far in all of Europe and one of the fastest growing economies in the world, along with China. The total FDI inflow in 2011 was almost $16 billion, and according to A.T. Kearney's most recent 2012 FDI Confidence Index, Turkey is now the 13th most attractive FDI destination in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Turkey and the United States have been close strategic partners for decades, working together on a wide variety of issues, including stability and security, trade and investment, and even counterterrorism. Our two countries have joined forces to contribute to stabilization efforts in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, Iraq, and so forth. The United States and Turkey have also established deep cultural ties as well. Thousands of Americans visit Turkey every year, and many Turks and their descendants have come to the United States, strengthening its rich and diverse fabric. Over 12,000 students study in the U.S., more than from any other European country. And even though our cooperation in the economic sphere grows more important every day, it is our firm belief that we have yet to reach even a fraction of our full potential. This forum intends to develop, bolster, and diversify economic ties between our two great countries. And despite a general global economic slowdown, Turkey and the United States have reason to celebrate as an increasing number of partnerships and investments are announced. Now there are over 1,200 companies registered in Turkey, and Turkish and American firms are increasingly looking to each other for further opportunities. And let me give you a few examples. Last December, a joint investment agreement at a total value of $1 billion was signed by Turkey's leading carbon fiber producer, Aksa Group and Dow Chemicals. This venture is expected to strengthen Turkey's hand in global carbon fiber markets and make it a strategic provider of carbon fiber products. This investment, America's largest in Turkey in recent years, is also expected to provide over 1,000 new jobs over the 5-year period. We have with us today Mehmet Ali Berkman, and I would like to congratulate him for this impressive deal. Turkey's growing pharmaceutical sector is also becoming an investor hotspot. In April of this year, U.S. drugs agent Amgen announced that it had agreed to buy out Turkish pharmaceutical manufacturer Mustafa Nevzat for $700 million. Turkey's pharma sector has attracted a series of transactions by foreign drug makers in the last 10 years, seeking growth in a market that is experiencing rapid expansion. Turkey's new incentive package, geared towards drawing strategic and large-scale investments to the country, is also beginning to pay off, as General Electric signaled new investments last month in a variety of fields. GE intends, what we understand, to focus on energy, locomotives, medical devices, and aircraft engines, and we understand that setting up a research and development center in Turkey is also on the table. And it was in today's newspaper, the announcement is already made, I understand yesterday, that the total investment is about $900 million over the next 3-year period. As impressive as they are, these examples are not nearly enough. It is in this forum we hope to develop bigger and better deals with our American friends and partners. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living through tough times. Turbulence has engulfed the global economy as the international community tries its best to deal with an increasing number of diplomatic impasses. And in the face of this, the steadfast friendship between the United States and Turkey gains further importance. And it is through sound economic foundations that we can truly strengthen that alliance, which is crucial to peace and prosperity, not just in Turkey's immediate region, but also for the rest of the world. I have every confidence that we'll succeed in our most noble goal. Finally, I would like to extend my gratitude to the committee chairs, board members, and our hardworking staff, both at ATC and TAIK, for all they've done in facilitating our conference this year, to our members for their friendship, and to our sponsors for their generous financial support. Thank you all very much. It is now my distinct pleasure to invite to the podium Mr. Rifat Hisarciklioglu, President of TOBB, the Union of Chambers and Commodity Exchanges of Turkey. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, Mr. Ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you all on behalf of myself, the Union of Chambers and Commodity Exchange of Turkey, TOBB, and President of DEIK. It is my honor to be here at the 31st ATC Turkey Conference, which has become a tradition in Turkish-US relations. I want to thank ATC Chairman Mr. Armitage, Ambassador Jim Holmes, and Haluk Dincer, the Chairman of the Turkish-American Business Council, for their willpower. Before, Turkish-American relations meant military and diplomatic relations between two allies. The economic dimension was missed out. As TOBB, we have been stressing since 2001 that this situation is not sustainable. In today's changing world, economic relations have to be the strongest pillar. So every step towards this pillar took TOBB's support. Finally, we got a response to our requests during Mr. Obama's visit to Turkey in April 2009. Mr. President announced his vision on our mutual relations as model partnership. After this date, President Gül, Prime Minister Erdogan, and Secretary Clinton gave big importance to the economic pillar. And this started to be visible in all levels of bureaucracy. Economic issues found more place on the agenda of politics and bureaucracy. More concrete steps are taken, and the business world feels this positive change. We view the Turkish-US economic relations on the framework of counter-trade, mutual investment, tourism, joint technology development, and connection between our entrepreneurs, cooperation in third countries. We are building on these main pillars. In 2011, we reached a great growth in our counter-trade. Our trade volume reached about $20 billion. Exports increased 22% and imports increased 30%. However, our trade deficit against US is increasing, and our export volume to US in our total export is decreasing. In 2001, US had a share of 11% in our total exports. Unfortunately, in 2011, this share decreased to 3.4%. Between 2001 and 2011, Turkey's total export volume increased from $30 billion to $135 billion, thanks to its strong private sector. Turkey's growth rate reached 8.5%. It was the second biggest growth country in the world. In 2011, the private sector provided employment from 1.3 million people. Turkish private sector made $155 billion of investment. Turkey exports 20,000 different goods to over 200 countries. Today, Turkey has become the industrial giant in the region. We have the strongest industry between Italy to China. Turkey is the second country after United States where 13 different automotive brands are manufactured. Turkey has zero-error production performance with well-qualified labor force. Turkish contractors undertook projects in 93 countries, worth of $206 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that there is a greater potential to improve the commercial relations between Turkey and US. We know in the middle and long term, structural steps must be taken. But in the short term, I believe we can make progress with educational and awareness-raising activities. US total investment in Turkey is around $8 billion. Nearly 1,200 US companies have investments in Turkey. But unfortunately, US share in Turkey's total foreign investment only stands at a level of 5%. Additionally, it is well known that Turkey has investment potential in the area of renewable energy, medical industry, defense industry, and real estate. The new incentive system has made Turkey more attractive in terms of investments. In order to improve the investment environment, Turkey is constantly developing itself. In tourism, Turkey has now become the 6th most popular destination in the world. The number of American tourists visiting Turkey reached 762,000 in 2011. This number is of course significant, but the number of American tourists visiting Turkey is equal to the tourists coming from a middle-sized European country. We need to improve our cooperative activities to mutually increase the tourist numbers. Cooperation in entrepreneurship is not only important for mutual relations, but also important for partnership in third countries. In this context, as TOBB, we are the coordinator of two significant programs of the U.S. State Department, PNB, Partners for New Beginnings, and GAP, Global Entrepreneurship Program. In PNB, we are developing and implementing concrete projects on economic opportunities, education, and technology. In this context, we have involved a large group to this initiative, which started with Madame Albright. We presented our projects and success stories to Vice President Biden and Secretary Clinton. We continue to share our experiences with other countries. We have established a close relationship with the State Department's Global Entrepreneurship Program. Within this framework, we have concentrated on projects promoting entrepreneurship in Turkey. The priority has been given to the activities in venture capital. Similarly, last December, we contributed to organizing the second Global Entrepreneurship Summit. All these show the high level of development in Turkey's entrepreneurship. Cooperation in third countries also get us excited. Until today, there have been successful examples in Iraq and Afghanistan, but we should increase these. There are significant opportunities to work together with our neighbors at the Balkans, Caucasus, Central Asia, and Africa. Also, we should analyze the opportunities in Pakistan for private sector development and entrepreneurship. With this framework, I would like to repeat our proposal to develop a qualified industrial zone model that includes all the countries in our region. This will contribute both to bilateral relations of Turkey-US and also make the countries in our region benefit from Turkey's role as a transformer. And this will contribute to liberal economy, transparency, peace, and stability. Dear participants, the region where Turkey belongs requires information exchange, empathy, common vision, and cooperation in Turkish-US relations. Iran, Iraq, and Syria are Turkey's neighbors. Even a small instability in these countries directly affect the economic conditions in Turkey, especially the economies in border cities. For sure, we would not want a border country with nuclear arm. We would use all diplomatic instruments to prevent an opposite attempt. In Syria, we are worried about our brothers just near us being murdered and forced to leave their homes and become refugees. Moreover, the regional economies neighboring Syria are hurt badly. These people in the border cities are losing their jobs. We are very sad to see that the current world system cannot find a solution to end this humanitarian tragedy. As time passes, deaths are increasing, hostility is increasing. International system should urgently take action. The condition in Syria should be stabilized. Iraq is one of the most important trade partners of Turkey. Turkish investors have a valuable effect on Iraq's economy, especially on northern Iraq. Turkish businessmen are all around Iraq. However, we have concerns about the political instability in Iraq. We wish Iraq to achieve high welfare and sustainability. Cyprus is another issue that needs solution. Turkish Cypriots are subjected to an unjust political and economic embargo. A strong will should take action. U.S. support has been effective in these negotiations between Turkey and European Union. The accession period has valuable contribution to Turkey's economic and political developments. Today, Turkey needs U.S. support more than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, in the last 30 years, Turkey transformed itself from an agriculture country into a dynamic industrial country. More importantly, this transformation took place in a stable way. This transformation is based on two key elements of Turkey. The first is entrepreneurial spirit of our people. In the 80s, thanks to Turgut Özal's market-oriented policies, we opened Turkish economy to international trade. We learned how to get richer. The second element is the power of our democracy system. We know the path to transformation go through ballot boxes. We feel maximum freedom when we vote. We know that free, fair, and correct decisions come from election boxes. Liberalization is a must for upper middle income countries to become a high income country. We need a bounce on innovation. Innovation first requires individuals who can focus on their jobs in harmony. Turkey now needs generations who have free intellectual, free conscience, free wisdom, like Atatürk's emphasizes made decades ago. We hope at the end of 2012, we will have a constitution that will clear all doubts about freedom and record the main achievements of this period. As TOBB and the business world, for the first time in Turkey, we provided opportunity for people to argue the constitutional issues by organizing American-style town hall meetings in every region, 12 cities. We did it together with the president of our assembly and all 4 party members from the Conciliation Commission. We submitted all the collected data to the Commission of Conciliation, who will issue the new constitution. But of course, our mission is not completed. Constitutional consensus is extremely important for Turkey's economic bounce. We will continue to follow this process. Dear guests, to conclude, I want to say that as our relations get deeper and expand, more concrete cooperation areas appear. It starts to cover a larger society. In short, Turkey-US economic relations becomes non-ignorable and essential for both countries. As TOBB and DEIK, we want economic issues to be on the top agenda of Turkey-US relations. For this, we will continue to give all support we can, as we did in the past. I wish success to the 31st ATC conference. Thank you very much.